Yeah, you only got a second. We're breached. They barricaded the doors. We're getting gas masks on. Guns are drawn on the outside. They're putting bookcases in front of the doors, the main entrance to the house floor, and to get down.
So, Congressman, so you are inside the House floor. Can you let us know? I mean, is there military presence, security presence? Are you feeling safe where you are?
The Capitol Police. I can't tell who the others are. They're trying to beat the doors down. We all have our gas mask out. They've deployed gas in the rotunda. You can hear them beating on the doors to get in.
All right, and can you tell us, is there anything else that you see or that you hear from the other side of the doors?
You hear shouting. You hear banging on the door. They're trying to break it down.
Congressman,
they've evacuated the leadership first, and then there's people. You hear a gunshot just now. Just outside. It looked like a gunshot. Sounded like a gunshot in the Speaker's lobby.
I know there have been some flashbang reports as well. Do you have any idea where Vice President Mike Pence is?
He went over to the Senate side when this began. The debate began.
So, to your knowledge, is this going on only on the House side and not the Senate side?
There's no way I can know. I was told by the police that they are in the rotunda, which is next to the Capitol Dome, and that they have now, I can tell, we have a bunch of security trying to hold the door, the main entrance door to the House floor. Their members are freaked out, but most of them are staying pretty calm. A lot of them have been evacuated. There's a group of us that went up to the balcony, about a dozen of us, and the Capitol Police are just telling us to keep our heads down.
Congressman, that was going to be my next question. Does it feel to you like every man for himself inside the building right now, or do you feel the support of law enforcement around you trying to keep them back?
Capitol Police are doing a great job.
How many people?
My hunch, my sense at the beginning was there weren't enough security when you saw how angry the mob was and you heard the president say, go on over to the Capitol. Well, they followed his orders.
How many people are right now in the chamber with you?
I can't tell. On the House floor itself, they moved them all, I think, into the Speaker's lobby. We got moved up into the balcony, and there's about 20-something of us here. You can hear them trying to beat on the door.
And to your knowledge, has the Speaker also been brought to a place of safety?
Well, look, that happened first when this all just began, when they breached the rotunda at first.
Interesting.
Hold on. I just hear them. All right, go ahead.
Interestingly, we have just heard again from President Trump through Twitter, and he said, please support our Capitol Police and law enforcement. They are truly
he could have done that a long time ago by not inciting this and telling them, I'll go over to the Capitol.
No question.
I'm laying flat with my colleagues up in the balcony looking at the barricade and the security with guns drawn.
Who is asking you, Congressman, to put on the gas mask at this point, or is that just instinctively?
There's one under each seat. Some members have them on already. Some have been told to wait so they can run if they need to.
And are you getting any instructions from any Capitol Police who are inside the chambers with you, or is everything you're hearing outside the chamber?
They're the ones that told us where the gas masks are. They're the ones holding the barricade. They're the ones. They've been very good, very calm. They're the ones sitting with us. Some of them had their guns drawn. You know, not something I ever imagined doing, but just want to let everybody know we're going to be okay.
Congressman, do you feel like things are escalating at this point, or holding steady and firm where they are?
Right at the last 2 minutes, holding steady. You can still tell that they're on the other side of those doors. Hold on.
And who are you with right now, Congressman, if you could? Who's in the presence? You said about 20 other people.
Oh, shit. Excuse me.
Congressman, we know these are
I'm with about 20 other members.
We know these are extraordinary circumstances. What's going on in front of you, if I may?
People. Oh.
What are you seeing, Congressman?
Hold on.
Stay safe.
They're telling us to leave any door. Come on. The police, they're telling us to go out from a different door. There's a bunch of police yelling at us to now try to leave a different way.
And where are they sending you, sir? We understand the tunnels may be closed, and it doesn't look like it's safe to be outside.
I don't. I'll tell you right now, there's a little confusion as to what they want us to do.
Okay, understandable.
I'd say 20 of us are still up in the balcony, and I'm not sure where any of the other members are. I know my staff was told to stay in the office and not move. Now they're telling us to stay put.
Senator, there have been reports of an armed standoff that is at the House door right now. So
yeah, that's what I'm seeing it from our side. There are 6, 7 people with bookcases and chairs, impromptu barricades, and through the glass of the door downstairs, I can see people on the other side. We were told that gas was dispersed in the statutory hall, which is the hall just to the other side of the Capitol Dome.
Do you understand, Congressman, that anyone, and this is a question, I have not heard this myself, no one is being taken hostage at this point? You feel threatened?
Nobody here. They sure feel threatened, but nobody's been taken hostage to my knowledge. I can only tell you what I see on the House floor.
Of course.
And Congressman,
I don't know where they took leadership, but they got them out of here first.
And I know certainly, Congressman, there was, word in social media that something like this could happen. I'm just curious, is this what you anticipated, or is this worse than you anticipated?
I feared. Well, this is what I feared. And when an hour before we started, and I looked out, I love our Capitol Police. I just didn't think they had nearly the security they needed, given the anger out there incited by this president. The best thing he could do is not applaud our Capitol Police. He could tell these people to go home.
You're saying that the president could?
The president should say that.
What are you
right
hearing now?
They're having us leave. They're having us walk out this door.
Can you give us a play-by-play of where you are exactly and what you're walking out of and what you're walking into?
I'm in the gallery. We're walking out of an entrance. I believe it's on the west side. Hold on. They had us leave the chambers. Now we're going to go upstairs to the 4th floor.
Are you being led by a
lot of people laying on the ground? They're going down the stairs. It looks like the protesters are about 10 feet from us. They're all on the ground. Hopefully, they've been subdued.
You had mentioned before that maybe there was some smoke and people had put on their gas masks. Does it seem to be smoky in there, or is it all clear?
Some people are wearing their masks. They're having us wear them. Not everyone's wearing them because they did disperse gas just outside the chambers toward that rotunda, toward that Capitol Statutory Hall.
Can you smell that now?
Stairs. What's that?
Can you smell that now? Does it appear to not be?
I cannot.
Okay.
And I'm assuming you're being led out by Capitol Police. Are you being guided?
Yes.
And I'm assuming the Capitol Police have their guns drawn. Oh, we may have lost.